We are the nerds. We are the nerds of the apocalypse.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nerds of the Apocalypse. I'm, of course, Stevie B, and today we're going to talk about Xbox. That's right, we're going to talk about the Xbox One. Oh my, it heard me talking. It beeped at me. If you're like me, you had to have the Xbox day one. You might not be like me, let's not get into Xbox PS4 war, okay? But I had to have the Xbox day one. And your Xbox may only have 500 gigabytes in it. That's been a big problem for me for the past 6 months. And I've been trying to figure out what to do, which drive to go with, how to make it better, because the PlayStation 4, here we go, PlayStation 4 is better. On the inside, you can upgrade the hard drive. Xbox One doesn't allow that, but you can buy an external drive to make it bigger, and you kind of have to, unless you want to delete games constantly and bring games and install them and delete them and install them and delete them and install them. That's where I'm at right now. Every time I want to play something new, I got to go in and delete like 5 things. So I looked through the things to buy, the best drives to buy, read some reviews. I'm going to go with what I picked and why I picked it, and then I'll install it so you can see, and we can together we'll figure out how easy it is. So without further ado, here's the drive I picked. And here it is. I went with a 2 terabyte My Passport X. There were a lot of options out there that do about the same thing this does. You could get the Western Digital My Book, and that adds about 3 seconds more to your load time if you install the game directly onto it. The reason why I went with this over the My Book, they're relatively the same price, this doesn't have an external power source. It powers through USB 3.0. You have to plug a power source into the My Book, and so I'd rather do this. And there's a lot of the brands like Toshiba. You can get a lot of these that power themselves too, but the biggest reason why I went with this is the design. I know it's we're living in a material world, and I am a material nerd. This was made for the Xbox. It's designed. It's the exterior makes it look like it. Hold on, let's open this bad boy up. So here it is outside the box. Like I said, the design looks just like the Xbox. It's you can call My Passport X. It's fairly simple. You got the USB 3.0 cord right here. You just unhook it, plug it in, and go to town on your Xbox. Let's see. I think it should just be. Yep. 1, 2, 3. And there's also other My Passports. This one just doesn't come preloaded with all the virus scanning software. And it can be used, or backup software, I'm sorry. But it can also be used in a computer as well. This isn't just for the Xbox. Yeah. And clear, any USB 3.0 drive will work, but it has to be 3.0. A 2.0 drive will plug in, but you can only play movies and stuff off of it. You can't use it to save games. You need a 3.0 drive to actually save games. And there's no limit to the space up, but you can only have 256. But let's be honest, you're only walking 500. You really don't want to do 256. It won't work out well for you. All right, let's plug this bad boy in and see what we get. All right, let's see how easy this installation is. Don't judge my gaming setup. I just moved. Okay, I'm not finished setting up yet. All right, so it's kind of dark here, I'm sorry, but we're just hooking into the USB port on the side. Right. Got it in. It's working because you have a light. Alright. So let's see what's happening on our Xbox. Okay, so we have set up external storage. Do we want to use the devices or games and apps? We'll need to format it. That's the biggest thing, is this drive can only now be used for Xbox One, which is fine. That's why we bought it. That's why it's here. So we want to format storage device. Oh, give your device a nickname. Oh, I didn't know this was going to happen. What do I want to call it? I don't know if it's showing up there, but I named it Xbox External. Keep in mind that your letters are limited. I couldn't put a space between Xbox and external. I'm not sure. I don't think that's showing up there, but that's what I called it. All right, let's see what happens next. Install things on Xbox External by default. Install new things here. Okay, so this is definitely what you want to do, because things will run a tad bit faster. Like I said, not much at all, but you will get a little bit more free, faster loading in games if you install directly to there. You want to install all these things here. Yes. Now I want to format the storage device. What happened? Oh, it's ready already. It's already ready already. Let's see what we're working with. Alright, so the biggest test would be to go to my games and apps and see what I'm looking at. Because, oh, look at that. Much better. It was at 10% or 90% used before. And I'm only at 16.3% used. I have all these games to reinstall. Sweet. Also keep in mind, I don't know if I mentioned this before, the drive I bought was a 2 terabyte drive, so I have 1.8 terabytes free. I recommend doing at least 2 or 3. 1 terabyte, you're going to fill it pretty fast too, I feel like. You could get 1.5. I mean, you could really anything. You get 1, 1.5, 2. But I think you're going to get the most value and the most money out of 2. And I think I mentioned that earlier, so that's a good big point I want to push across. The drive will cost you a little less than $100, but you're getting 2 terabytes, and you, like I said, I went from 90 to 16.3. So you probably won't have to upgrade again for a long time. So final thoughts on the My Passport X. I got it installed. It was 1, 2, 3. You follow the prompts. There's like 2 or 3 prompts. You have to name the device. And then I started installing some of the games I had in the cloud, and they're installing now, and that was it. I mean, it's easy peasy. As I said before, I want to reiterate again, 2 terabyte drive. I recommend at least 2 terabytes. And you got space for days after that. It's kind of crappy that the system didn't initially come with much bigger. Both the PS4 and the Xbox launch are only 500 gigs. And we're dealing with games that are 20, 30 gigs. And when you really only have about half the 500, because both systems are using an operating system that takes about half the drives, you're going to fill it up really fast. And so you're almost like forced to do this. Like if you don't want to do the whole, like I said before, uninstall, install game. It really stinks that that's how it is. Even with the 1 terabyte Xbox, you don't really get that much more. So now I have 2.5, the 2 terabyte drive and the 5 that comes on the system. Well, the 3 that I can actually use. So if you're having struggles, I highly recommend upgrading. I use My Passport X. So far, no problems. If I do have problems, I'll report back. But so far, so good. Everything's installing fast, and it's looking good. Questions you want me to answer, just leave them below. I'll happy to answer them. I got this from Best Buy. It was like, I think it was on sale for $85, $90. I'll link it below. I'll put the link for Best Buy and Amazon. You can kind of browse there if you want to do that. And that's it. And I'm Stevie B, and part of Nerds of the Apocalypse, and I'm out.